All right, folks, Tommy Cowett here on the lawn from Greensboro, North Carolina. It is Labor Day, and I'm taking a look at the garden. This is a garden update. I'm preparing for planting or seeding and planting a fall veggie garden. But let's take a look at what we got this year. This is our raised bed garden that I planted back in the spring, and we did pretty good. As you can see, it's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon and there's no light. But we did pretty good with the big beefs this year. I'm just gonna harvest the rest of those. You can see this nice big basil plant. We're gonna make some pesto out of that guy. I had another one here. I did another experiment this year, if you recall the rock dust episode. Of course, I used rock dust in this bed, but I also had a couple of experiments with a product called Applause that didn't show much of anything. I didn't see any activity with that product. Bless the guy's heart who's selling me that, trying to sell me that stuff, but it's a C7 sugar and it just doesn't seem to be doing anything. I'm not getting a response. Cucumbers did real well this year until I went on vacation and lost most of them to some disease. But this is going to be an arugala bed, and I'll probably do kale and collards in that bed. Got goji berries. I had this big goji berry plant. You can see up here some of the gojis, and I've been picking those off and trying to compete with the birds on them. And this is what a goji berry looks like when they're really nice and ripe. They're really good when they're ripe. I've had a lot of people complain or tell me they didn't like the taste. A little bitter. Some arugala and some other plants that we've been playing with this summer. I want to show you my attempt at keeping the insects away right here. This is a citronella plant. And I really do believe it has warded off many bad bugs that would normally bite you. But my urns, I love the potato vine. And what I tried to do on these guys was the method of thriller, filler, and spiller. There's my spiller, is that sedum. And, well, of course, 2 spillers here. And then I've got some jasmine in there, and I had some geraniums that got buried. Now, here's my thriller over on this guy. Look at that butterfly. There's my thrillers, a pine tree that I picked up from Forestry Service, if you could see that guy up there. And then, of course, the yellow potato vine, and we had more of the sedum, and then I had attempted to grow some geraniums in there as the filler. Didn't work. This one's a little better. But we're on the end of the season here. I've got a thriller. This little arborvitae plant. And then my filler or thriller. Gosh, I got 2 thrillers here. Is the geranium and then the sedum spilling out. That's just a spiller there. Here we go with this my bonsai of a wisteria plant. And just did some sedum in there, and I got a little bit of mazis. Just to give you a little tour of the garden before I do this. This is my little water garden here. Got a fish and a frog. And if you've ever wondered what Joe Pye weed looks like when it's blooming, that's Joe Pye weed in bloom. And there's some irises. These are all wetland plants that we use at Growing Green sometimes if we're gonna be doing some things. Coral bells and black-eyed Susans and lots of mazis and sedums. And back here I get very little sun. Juga and camellias. You got this is a woodland plant Ellen Ashley gave me. If you can see that bloom there. Is that coming in? It's gorgeous stuff. And then, of course, this bed we planted. Tricitrus is beginning to bloom. It's a fall blooming plant. Can you see that? I'll try to get a close-up of that. These are really like, almost like orchid blooms. This is going to be magnificent when it's full. And then here's my collection of all kinds of shade-loving ground covers in here underneath the camellias. And some more of the tricitrus under a little bit of stress. Come back here. Pot lady and pot man hanging out around some akuba and arborvitae, and we're getting ready to plant these guys right here. A pot lady, she is definitely been on her last leg a long time. You can see her little sculptures and stuff I like to goof off with. But anyway, folks, signing out right here. I'm gonna go ahead and get the tomatoes harvested, the rest of the cucumbers, and we will get started planting this fall garden. Just want to give you a little update on what's going on back here. All right, Tommy signing out.